How better go there, how better go there, how better go where, how better go here, how better now, how better go.
What is a tax lien certificate? Welcome back. Today's episode is answering the question, what is a tax lien certificate? And the answer is it's an alternative investment that thousands of savvy investors really make use of. It's also a little known but highly lucrative certificate that's available online as well as offline. In today's example, I'll reveal how investors who have learned how are earning generous and in some cases outrageous returns. In some instances, 16%, 18%, 24%, all the way up to 36% interest. Now, tax liens are created by the local county governments when the property owners fail to pay their property tax. Across the United States, there's over 3,000 plus counties that are authorized by the state government, actually by the legislature, to lien and collect property taxes from all property owners. Nationwide, approximately half of the local counties will auction tax lien certificates. Now, once you know how, you can easily make money with a tax lien certificate. Now, all property owners are required to pay property tax. As I mentioned, a little over half of the counties, the local counties, their property owner will benefit because the local county will sell a tax lien certificate. And what's the benefit? Well, the benefit to that defaulting owner is they don't push him off the property. That means the property owner can stay on the property when you buy their tax lien certificate. You have no right to the property. You can't push them off the property. All right, so the Board of Supervisors and the county commissioners require, that is, they mandate that the official county treasurer lien defaulting property owners. They give numerous notices of default. However, if the people don't pay the tax, they're going to issue a tax lien certificate. Now, newcomers always ask, what is a tax lien certificate? Basically, it's a notice from the local government. It's an encumbrance. It's a lien against the property that the property owner must pay. Now, if they don't pay, they're actually going to lose the property. Most of the counties in the tax lien states, they're really pretty benevolent. So if the property owner fails to pay the local government is authorized to levy. What does that mean? It means they could seize and confiscate the property and resell it at a public auction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her going here. Start me off. Where to bid to go? Have it $1,000, open it up.
All right, certain counties, about 1,500 of them nationwide, will actually sell a tax lien certificate rather than confiscate and seize the property. So investors want to make money with tax lien certificates. So in half the counties in the United States, they're very benevolent and they sell tax lien certificates, and the rewards are really more than generous. The local government issues and sells a tax lien certificate. Thousands of investors nationwide are delighted with these investments. Why? Because they're predictable, they're certain, and they're secure. Now, what happens when you buy a tax lien certificate? You purchase a paper certificate from the local government. The lien was sold to you by the local government. So when you raise your hand to buy a tax lien certificate, you buy a piece of paper that does not allow you to go on the property. The property owner stays on the property. You can't move the property owner off the property. So at this point, you purchase it at an auction, at a local government auction. The treasurer will use these funds to pay the school teachers, pay for the schools, the police department, the fire department, all of the county employees, and dozens of other bills. So when you buy a tax lien certificate, you basically pay the county bills. Property taxes pay all of the county bills. So now what you did is you bought a tax lien certificate. You're going to be rewarded with a generous return. So investors make money on tax lien certificates, and they're sold by the local government. Tax liens are considered a predictable, certain, and secure investment. Why are they predictable and secure? Because the government is going to give you a guarantee that you'll get paid 16, 18, 24, up to 36% interest on a tax lien certificate. So what happens when you buy the certificate? Your money pays all of the county bills, and now you have a safe, secure investment. So what work do you have to do? There's no work to do. You buy the certificate, you take it home, then you sit on your rusty dusty. It's a passive investment. You wait for the government to come and pay you. The investor does no work at all with a tax lien certificate. Now, you're depending upon the state and the county to get paid. They're going to pay you outrageous interest rates depending upon the state in which you buy it. So let's answer the question. What happens if you don't get paid? Tax lien certificate buying is a safe investment. Why? Because the county has given you a covenant. A covenant is a promise that if you buy the tax lien certificate, you own the lien on that property. You're now entitled to foreclose on that property. That doesn't mean you can do that until the redemption period has passed. Now, in a different way, I'm going to say this. Folks, if you buy a tax lien certificate, you will either get paid or you will get the property. Let me say it again. With a tax lien certificate, you'll either get paid or you will get the property. If you get the property, you get the property without a deed of trust or a mortgage on the loan. Now, the majority of these certificates will pay the investors back. However, certain certificates will go unpaid. If you do not get paid, then in that case, you'll have an ability to foreclose and take the property. Now, what do these certificates pay? In Arizona, 16%. Florida, up to 18%. Iowa, up to 24%. In Illinois, all the way up to 36%. These are just a few examples. The important message I have for you is this. You get paid or you get the property. We're talking about what is a tax certificate today. So the point in all this is student investors get a little bit confused. They get a little bit discouraged. So what do you need to do? You need to get some guidance. What does that mean? Well, you probably need a coach. You probably need a mentor. It's almost a miracle when you get one because they have so much information. Why do I always say education is important? Because you don't know what you don't know. Let's say that again. You don't know what you don't know. Now, in my experience, when I started asking successful people for guidance, well, everything changed because I now decided I would take notes and learn from people that knew a lot more than I knew. So starting in business can be intimidating, a lot of tough questions to answer. How are you going to do that? Why don't you have a mentor, get a coach, get someone to help you? I'm not just talking about getting a coach that's going to help you for one thing. You need a coach to do many things in your life, especially with tax liens and tax defaulted property. Everyone you know is going to give you advice. Old people will give you advice. Young people will give you advice. You'll even get advice from people that don't even like you. All right? Is that advice going to be any good? I doubt it because very few people have studied tax liens or tax defaulted property. Now, they want to help you, but they're not going to be able to help you because they haven't studied tax liens and deeds. That's why I say get an education. A coach will make all the difference in the world. I know you have lots of promises from late night television and also from promoters on the internet. I'm an educator and I'm an investor, and I'm going to tell you right now, in this video episode, I'm going to give you everything from an investor standpoint. You see those little white circles? That's how many auctions are taking place within that state in the next 90 days. This calendar updates every single day. I'm here today to show you how to make money. To do that, I'm going to show you briefly that there are thousands of tax defaulted real estate properties across the 3,000 plus counties in the United States. This is quite interesting. You're looking at the Ted Thomas Magic Interactive Map and Auction Calendar. It changes every day. Now, I created the calendar and the map so I would know how many auctions are taking place every day in the United States. Now I can show the little guy how to make money. Most importantly, I created this system so I could have an auction list for each auction 24/7. Small population counties will have dozens of tax lien certificates, sometimes hundreds of tax lien certificates and tax defaulted property. The large population counties will have thousands, I mean thousands of tax lien certificates. For example, I've seen Dade County in Miami have over 60,000 tax lien certificates. Before I finish this video, 2 pieces of advice, all about mistakes. Don't buy a tax lien certificate, don't buy a tax defaulted property unless you've seen the property. If you haven't looked at the property, there could have been a hurricane, could have been a windstorm, there could have been a fire. I don't know what could be wrong with the property, but you want to check. If there was a pig farm there or a chicken farm, you probably wouldn't want that property. All right, the other mistake is when you're looking at the property, make sure you're looking around. Look around, see what you could sell that property for later. If you don't have an exit strategy, you shouldn't buy a property. I'm Ted Thomas. I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget, request your free auction list right below me.